caress my soul. All the love you taught me, world you showed me, ancient wisdom of your own. Spread your wings and fly me home. Swanflower queen, you reign without a crown. Swanflower queen, enchant us all around. I am dancing at your feet. Let your smile caress my soul. All the love you taught
Hello there, chat. It's been a while. Lots of things have been happening behind the scenes. I just had to come back at least one more time to laugh at it. So welcome on this Friday, as we're going to be taking a look into one of the most hilarious things that has happened in VTubing for like, I don't know, a few months. I mean, it's been an ongoing issue, as you know, as I've covered extensively Valens's antics in the VTubing sphere, and it's been a ride. And the ride is I wouldn't say it's ending. I just think it's just taking a curve. I would even say it's just taking a loop at the moment, because things have happened and you've probably seen them. I've covered them on my personal Twitter. So if you came here for that, well, you won't be disappointed, because we're in for a very, very funny ride. But before we start, let me put some music up. Something I haven't played in a while. We need our background music, otherwise it's not gonna be fun for anybody, especially for me. But yeah, the video I played from The Simpsons, that very popular bit with Sideshow Bob stepping on rakes, is like the perfect encapsulation of what Valens does for a career. It's just stepping on rakes endlessly and never learning not to step on rakes. It has happened for years now. Like, literally for years. It has happened when I first encountered Valens almost 10 years ago. It happened again in 2020, and now it's just happening again. It's just it's just rake after rake after rake. It's just that there's a little bit of time lag between stepping on those rakes, but it always happens. Like, make no mistake. For all the ups that Valens thinks Valens has, the downs are even downer than the ups are upper. Like, to explain it really badly. So, chat, you're probably asking yourself, like, what the fuck happened? Like, for those of you that are like completely not in the know of what has been happening in the VTubing scene for the last couple of months. Well, too long didn't read about that is that there's this journalist in huge quotation marks called Valens that has decided to get into VTubing on a personal level as a loot-tuber succubus that's very much into war and giantess roleplay, doing ASMR and quote-unquote sexual education streams on Twitch, as well as releasing lewd audio for an audience of I don't know whom. I'm guessing there's a niche for everything. Considering what kind of business I work in, I can imagine that there are a few people that would be into that, but by few, I just mean exactly that. Fucking few. Because I wouldn't even call this acquired taste. I would call it deviant taste. Like, it's very... it's very sidelined. Calling it niche would be an understatement in this case. But yeah, that's what Valens does. And when Valens doesn't do the loot-tuber thing, Valens writes articles about VTubers. Badly, might I add. I have done 2 streams so far about Valens's Vice articles, because that's where Valens works still, somehow. But then again, I wouldn't be too surprised, because Vice just hires any fucking body to write any fucking thing, so, you know, I shouldn't really be surprised by any of this at this point. So Anna Valens has written articles about VLR, shaming them for being vaguely transphobic, because Anna Valens is a transgendered person as well. Complaining that VLR has lollies on board because, when you know so much about the VTubing scene, you have to shit on lollies and lollicons because, that's the popular thing to do. But it also shows that you don't know much about VTubing and what's widely accepted in it. But, that's something that I've already established on my streams when it comes to what Anna Valens writes. So, after the VLR article dropped, there was a outrage. Anna Valens got felted online because nobody liked that. It's like that meme. Everybody disliked that or whatever the fuck it was. So, Anna Valens, knowing no shame, because that's a recurring theme as well, decided to write another article about a lot of people's favorite Foxu, and that is Kirche Verstall. And why, you may ask? Because, well, Kirche is a dangerous right-winger, alt-right person that is supposedly also some kind of Hitlerite. And she exposes a lot of negativity into the VTubing community. And apparently also believes in the great replacement theory. But again, that's also a stream I had about this. And after that, Anna Valens got felted even harder. In fact, Anna Valens got felted so hard, the articles that Anna Valens wrote had to be taken down. Yes, Vice has taken down all articles related to Kirche. And that was that. People thought, it's going to be the end of it. But again, Anna Valens, knowing no shame, decided to continue to write about VTubers badly. And ultimately, something bad happened within the VTubing scene. Or rather, a person emerged on a protest. A very unhinged person, by the way. If I had the capability of doing a stream about that person, like a singular stream solely about that person, I would have done it already. But alas, I couldn't. This is somewhat of an exception today as well. You just have to take it for what it is. But a person emerged that wanted to inflict some violence on several lefty protesters. I don't exactly remember where that was, but it turned out that that particular individual, I even forgot his name. I am so unprepared for this. I am sorry. I just don't remember the names of weirdly Nazi transgender pony fuckers with a scat fetish. I just, do not commit it to memory all that well. It's just, just kind of flips off my mind. It does a backflip into the sea. And it drowns very quietly. Either way, this person that wanted to inflict some violence on that particular protest turned out to be a Pipkin Pippa fan and also a Kirche Verstall fan, allegedly. Because again, the person has such a weird history online of, espousing Nazi ideology and apparently, allegedly, also being a pedophile. Because if you're gonna be all of these things, why not be also a child diddler at the same time? Just add it to the stamp collection, whatever. A very deranged stamp collection. This guy collects. So, this person has gotten on the news, believe it or not. And they showed it on local news. And lo and behold, he had Pipkin Pippa merch. And also wrote Pippa's name on his shotgun. And you're probably, you're probably not wondering at this point, like, yeah, this would be a good opportunity to write an article about this, solely focusing on Pippa, solely focusing on Face Connect's number one rabbit talent, Pippa, instead of the actual perpetrator, the actual schizo. So Anna Valens, in all of Alan Valens's wisdom, decided to write an article, quote unquote, defending Pippa. And this is where we are today. This is the topic of today's stream, and all of the things that are surrounding the alleged, well, not even alleged at this point. It's just a genuine fucking schizo that's allegedly a pedophile, but who the fuck knows at this point? There's so many things. I'm not even going to list all of them because YouTube is going to give me a strike or a warning or whatever. There's way too many things wrong with this person. But if you want to learn more about them, because that's not what this stream is going to be focusing on. If you want to learn more about them, there's a thread on the Virtual Asylum VTuber forum, as well as on Kuri Farms. You can learn everything that you need about this particular deranged individual on your own. Today we're focusing on the funny, and the funny is divided into several sections. So today's stream is going to be a three-parter. We'll see how that goes. I call it the Pippa Valens excommunication, and I divided it into the article. We're gonna go through the article itself. Then we're gonna go through Anna Valens's reasoning and defending of said article, and then we're gonna get to the juicy part, which is the reaction to the article. It's truly something. I have rarely have I seen someone get so, like imagine like a revolution, but the revolution is made like out of the Spanish Inquisition. Like every single person that takes part in the revolution is a inquisitor. They're there to burn the fucking witch. Just dunk that witch in some oil and set them on fire. This is exactly what happened to Anna Valens in this particular instance. And the reasoning for it is so dumb. You have to see it to believe it. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into that article and let's go through it bit by bit. And I will stop at specific points to, provide a little bit of commentary if necessary. And we'll see how that goes. So just give me a moment and then we can get this show on the road. And I put this here. There's the tweets. There's the article. Just give me a second, chat. Okay, I think I have it. Again, I tend to over-prepare for this sort of things, even if I don't want to. It's just, a little bit of OCD here and there. You just have to live with it, I guess. Oh no, this is not the one. This is a different one. Hold up. This is a different article. There's so many, chat. So many. At least it's fairly well organized. Okay, the article is here. There we go. There it is. In all of its glory, quote unquote. But remember, the framing of this article as a preface is the defense of Pippa. Why is the focus on Pippa? Well, we're going to be exploring that. We're going to be theorizing. We're going to be going through some reasoning why this particular article decides to defend Pippa, even though Pippa normally should be someone that Anna Valens abhors. Anna Valens being a leftoid, a very far left-leaning person. So someone like Pippa, who isn't even on the right side of the political spectrum, because if you know Pippa is more of a weird. I mean, I wouldn't even call her a lefty. She's just Pippa, but I would definitely not call her right wing. I definitely wouldn't call her opinions and politics, the little that she has shared over the years with her fan base. I wouldn't call it specifically right leaning. It's just more of of an edgy sort of persona. But even the edge is not as bad as some people make it out to be. But on the internet, everything is exaggerated to the nth degree. And Pippa, in the eyes of so many people, is literally Hitler. And we're gonna go through that as well. So you'll see how people see Pippa on the wonderful place that is the alternative social media platform Blue Sky. But again, enough about that. Let's read this abortion of an article. Gaming, for whatever reason, categorized in gaming. Your mom and dad now know what a VTuber is thanks to this arrest. Maybe, sorta. It's not Pipkin's Pippa fault. Then why put Pippa front and center in your thumbnail of the article, and why make her look deranged like this? Why would you frame it like this? Well, this is one of the first things you have to start questioning in this article. Why this framing? Why is Pippa the first thing that's mentioned in this article? We'll soon learn. We'll soon find out. Before I reported on VTubing for Vice, I reported on it for the Mary Sue. One of my very first VTuber shoutouts in the press was in the article about the coffin of Andy and Laylee back in 2023. I gushed about my favorite Let's Play for the game, performed by a talented VTuber who turned me into a diehard Neblay fan. In my mind, Ashley Graves is synonymous with this VTuber's performance of her. If you want a TCOOAAL voice acted, the best way to enjoy it is through this VTuber's playthrough. And who could that VTuber be? Well, it's our dear Pipkin Pippa. Whose voice acting skills did I fall in love with? A popular rabbit-themed VTuber named Pipkin Pippa. And now that I've uttered the words Pipkin Pippa, I must state the magic spell that protects me from the internet. The following article, where reflecting facts reported by other news outlets, is based entirely on my own personal opinion as a VTuber and VTuber fan. Okay, but that still doesn't explain the framing. It's just, another one of those articles on Vice that masquerades as journalism. It's just, a glorified blog post. It doesn't even state at the beginning that it's an opinion piece. I mean, this particular, series of sentences here surely does. But, if I'm going to be harping on journalistic ethics, let's, just go all the way with it. If you're going to write an opinion piece, just, state it beforehand that's an opinion piece so people just don't get tricked into reading your drivel. Because it is drivel. Make no mistake. You're too effing stupid to know what's good for you. A quotation from Pippa. I first learned about Pippa all the way back in 2022, when my Valorant friends began sharing Pippa clips and highlight reels with me, such as the viral post from 2024, or clips from her playthrough of Class of 09, one of our favorite games, Or the duality of Pipkin Pippa YouTube video, which basically captures Pippa in a nutshell. Unironically, during one of my darkest moments, Pippa's explanation for why you shouldn't take your own life spoke to me. You're right, Pippa. I'm actually stupid. I wouldn't say I'm a Pippa fan, but I respect talent when I see it. And I happen to think Pippa is very talented. So you have this very touching story about Pipkin Pippa, of all people, saving Anna Valens's life. Which is very funny, because if you know the full story behind it, if Class of '09, if that particular stream where Pippa mentions, why you shouldn't take your own life, it is the very reason that Anna Valens didn't take Anna Valens's own life. Well, it's kind of ironic because the person that actually recommended Pippa to play Class of '09 is no other than Kuri Verstel, the VTuber that Anna Valens wanted to take down for many months now, organizing a harassment campaign in order to get Kuri deplatformed and for Kuri to lose sponsors. So inadvertently, Kuri is responsible for Anna Valens being alive today. Isn't that something, chat? Isn't that a fucking stinker? Anna Valens should be writing the article thanking Kuri for being alive today. That's so fucking funny. But yeah, you probably see all of this Pippa glazing, and that's another thing with Anna Valens. Anna Valens is that sort of person that they will defend whatever they personally like, but if that's something they personally like happens to go against the grain, happens to go against something that Anna Valens believes in, then Anna Valens will do everything in Anna Valens's power in order to sneakily or directly take them down. It happened before, and I already explained that on my previous streams where I was establishing the MO of how Anna Valens operates on the internet throughout many years. Anna Valens will try to gaslight people, will try to concern troll specific issues under, the guise of caring about a specific topic in order to paint that specific target in a bad light to as many people as possible, because Anna Valens uses their platform for these specific things. All the platforms that Anna Valens uses or has used thus far have been to further their personal agenda. And it happened with my workplace when Anna Valens tried to take that down as well, because they were ignored by my workplace. It happened again with Via Lure, where Valens didn't get accepted onto the writing staff because Anna Valens did actually try to apply for that. And that kicked off that Via Lure article initially. And then we have Kuri article, because Kuri decided to talk about Anna Valens's article on Kuri stream. And, Pippa also had a moment where she decided to shit on Anna Valens, and I played that specific clip a few times already on the past few streams. So, you see where this is going, chat, right? This is all this weird revenge ploy. If not by pretending that Anna Valens is a fan of Pippa, then by, direct attacks or trying to tie Pippa to something Pippa shouldn't even be involved with. You'll see that this particular article is lacking in the description of said perpetrator from the protests, but you'll see this later on as I continue reading this. Pippa, to be clear, has a very edgy sense of humor. So much so, she even has a controversy section of Know Your Meme. While she's not a political VTuber, her content is definitely popular with many right-wing VTuber fans. See, there it is. There's that framing again. That popularity amongst right-wing VTubers and being controversial, like even saying so much so. Despite that controversy just being the fucking Hogwarts Legacy thing, where Pippa said that she's gonna piss off people on Twitter because they were being annoying. Such a huge fucking controversy. And Pippa, again, many people in chat here watch Pippa. A lot of you watch her religiously. Pippa is not even that fucking edgy. Pippa makes very milquetoast jokes, and there's plenty of much more awful, if you want to use that sort of metric, creators out there that are much edgier than Pippa. Pippa is like on a scale from 1 to 10. When it comes to edginess, Pippa is like, I don't know, a 3, because she sometimes makes kill yourself jokes. And maybe she'll joke about Hitler 1 or 2 times. So she's not very edgy. She's not telling anyone to bomb Palestine or anything like that. No. Pippa is not very edgy at all. So this is an exaggeration. And this is a framing meant to portray Pippa as this weirdo, edgy VTuber to whatever normies, whatever weird people read Vice. Because this article would only, ever resonate with normies. Because it certainly didn't resonate with Blue Sky, but we'll get into that. Let's continue. That said, she's also popular with people who aren't right-wing. But you have to start by saying that she's popular with right-wingers. And that's what people remember, the very first mention. And she's popular with people who literally don't care about politics. By nature of her sense of humor, there are 1,000 opinions on Pippa across VTubing. Mine? I don't agree with everything Pippa does. Absolutely think she's gone too far with some of her jokes in the past. Yeah, but what jokes? You can't be that vague if you want to, if you want to write an article about a specific VTuber, you cannot be that vague. But that vagueness is also purposeful, chat. Because after that first mention of Pippa being, edgy and being popular with right-wingers, a common person will start thinking, I'm guessing she makes right-wing jokes or jokes that appeal to right-wingers, thus painting Pippa as some weirdo that only can do that. But again, it's all about setting the perception for the reader so that the reader doesn't think about anything else. and even mentioning here that Pippa has gone too far without getting into specifics of that. That's important. But Pippa is the VTuber equivalent of a shock jock. Others have tried to claim that title, but it's Pippa who is the true shock jock of VTubing. See, that's, again, another fucking thing. About Anna Valens. Knows jack shit about VTubing. I know so many more edgier VTubers than Pippa. Again, Pippa is not at the bottom of that list, but very close to it. That's what she said. She sets out to do, and that's who she is. And to that end, there's a difference between having right-wing fans and being a far-right VTuber spreading malicious beliefs. I personally believe that distinction matters. Some right-wing VTubers make me afraid, but not Pippa. She just makes me laugh. You know, this particular, set of sentences at the end of this paragraph, Valens likes to cite as a defense of Pippa, that this article isn't to smear Pippa. It isn't to frame Pippa for anything. This is a defense of Pippa, and true and honest. So, now that we all know about Pippa, imagine my surprise when I opened up Twitter and Blue Sky and saw Face Connect's poster child staring back at me because a Pippa fan was arrested. And again, doesn't mention that the profile of that particular VTuber, of that particular VTuber fan, also had Kirsche fan in the bio on Twitter. This has to be about Pippa and Pippa only. That's right. Someone went to a protest, got arrested, and now Pippa's face is all over his local news. So before we go any further, if you live in the Nashville area and your parents have ever commented on that cartoon rabbit girl who screams a lot in your phone, you might want to have a frank conversation with them before they start asking you to hand over your iPhone. This is a very weird set of sentences again. Because why would your parents take over your phone? I mean, Vice is not a publication for children or even adolescents. It's for adults. So why is Anna Valens addressing the audience, addressing the readers, as if they were children and they were beholden to their parents and they needed to give up their phones? Is this supposed to be some sort of joke that I'm just missing here? I'm guessing my funny bone is broken. But let's move on. Honey, isn't that rabbit girl you like from your animes? News Channel 5 Nashville covers local news from Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. Recently, the station reported on the Nashville No Kings protest over the weekend, highlighting a 19-year-old named Elijah Miller arrested for disorderly conduct in the two separate news segments posted on YouTube. The local news studio read from the teen's arrest warrant. Per the warrant, the arrested teen brandished a weapon during a planned protest when yelling and arguing ensued. He stated that he had a gun. The defendant was holding the gun down in front of himself and letting others in the area know that he had it. The arrest warrant stated, per News Channel 5 Nashville, the witness and the others in the crowd were in the fear for safety and began running before flagging down officers. Per witness statement, people started yelling at him and he pulled it out and stated he had a gun. No one was directly pointed at, but Miller was spitting at people. Both videos discuss the teen's long fascination with Nazis, mass murder, by highlighting his Twitter account. And between various screen grabs from the poster's social media, there she is, Pippa, suddenly appears, staring right back at the viewer in a post captioned, "Things are about to happen" from December 18th, 2024. Miller posts Pippa alongside a revolver and a book labeled Democracy, the God That Failed. According to the Mises Institute's Connor Mortel, the book lays out the case that private ownership of government, monarchy is preferably to the democratic government we are familiar with today. Additionally, according to social media posts lifted from the arrested teen's social media, the inscription "Pipkin Pippa" was scratched onto a shotgun owned by Miller. Don't do this if you're a fan of a creator, showcasing posts from Pippa's fans. And if you notice, whenever Valens is uses a specific framing for an article, they always show only one side of things. So when Valens is going to be quote-unquote defending Pippa, there's gonna be posts from Pippa's fans. Because, you know, defending Pippa here is quote-unquote the goal of all of it. So there's not gonna be detractors posted. There's not gonna be opinions from Pippa's detractors posted anywhere here. Because, you know, you have to maintain the illusion that this is a piece that is supposed to be defending her. Whereas Pippa should have not even be the subject of this article, or rather, you know, just a deranged person, because there's a lot of things about this particular individual that Valens has completely omitted from this particular article, instead of that focusing that he was a Pippa fan and almost nothing else. And here's that tweet from Fraser Boy. Yeah, don't do this. If you're a fan of a creator, it makes you look really fucking stupid, and more importantly, it drags down their image. Pippa's appearance in news coverage around the political arrest obviously turned some heads in VTubing. Over on Twitter, some users shared a screen grab from the news report with the shotgun inscribed to Pipkin Pippa. Warning, don't do this if you're a fan of a creator, as it drags down their image. Another suggested this was Pippa's PewDiePie moment, referencing the Christchurch mosque shooter who said the subscribed to PewDiePie meme on livestream before carrying out the mass shooting. A third poster shared the news report's Pippa image and responded the exact same way I did in real life. This is not fucking real. Oh my fucking LMAO WTF. I guess. Here's another tweet from the very popular Medhera, released on social media, named Zoe. While Twitter seemed bewildered, Blue Sky was angered. In a viral Blue Sky post, one user shared the Pippa revolver and shotgun images, noting it was what happens when you appeal to the alt-right crowds under the guise of "it's just a joke, guys." Another found Miller's status as Pippa's fans completely unsurprising, and third simply concluded it was only a matter of time. another set of Blue Sky posts here. Blue Sky users following Pippa news appearance almost universally believed Miller was reflective of Pippa's fanbase, but this sentiment wasn't confined to Blue Sky. On Twitter, some came to the same conclusion, suggesting that Pippa's community deserves scrutiny. Meanwhile, a poster on Reddit's r/virtual YouTuber simply called Miller the least deranged Pippa fan. A mod on the subreddit described the circumstance as a cautionary tale on indulging potentially deranged fans. So you see, it's already shifting. You can defend Pippa all you want, but fanbase, man. Fanbase is, I guess, deranged. They're all wackos and might be schizos as well. I think this will cause the violent video games cause violence, but VTuber flavored? One Redditor asked in the post comments, lively discussion followed. Do you really want to explain all this VTuber stuff to your mom and dad? Regardless how you feel about Pippa, her fanbase, and the bizarre way VTubing is intersected with larger American politics, I like to point readers back to my June 3rd article. More people are searching up stuff about VTubers. That's good and bad. In that piece, I revealed how VTuber topic searches for the past 12 months peaked on Google during the Cinder controversy. I also warned that VTubers can leave a positive impact on the world around us, or that positive influence can be overshadowed by major VTubers getting involved in petty drama and popular political beefs. Whether you believe Miller's Pippa connection is a Black Swan event or something worth investigation, I think we can all agree what happened with Miller is very bad for VTubing. It certainly overshadows a lot of the good happening in the space right now. See, no one would be giving any kind of shit about this. Someone, a normie, You have to understand. A normie is gonna see that local news and be, wow, anime girl. I guess the guy was just into some childish shit, huh? But then here comes Valens riding on a white steed to tell everyone about it and make it a problem of VTubing. Not a problem of a deranged, indoctrinated schizo. This is a VTubing problem, chat. This is not a problem with that particular individual getting indoctrinated by, being young on top of that and getting indoctrinated by the fucking internet and all of the things that they happen to be at the same time, including transgender and into scat, by the way. Nowhere is that fucking mentioned in the article, because that would look very bad. That would look very bad on what Ana Valens believes in. That framing would be no bueno. That would be completely something that would be completely avoided in that particular case. And let's continue. Look, Pippa isn't responsible for some far-right teenager waving a gun around. She didn't tell that kid to get aggro at a No Kings protest in Nashville, nor did she tell him to arm himself, scratch the name Pipkin Pippa in a shotgun, and read a book popular with Curtis Yarvin. Yes, Pippa's sense of humor is edgy, but she's no pundit. She's a shock jock. She's not preaching political talking points directly to her audience. Here's another tweet by Purusagi. I want to reiterate, this is an outside world's first impression of VTubing, and it's not a great look. Valens. Nothing here, again, is related to VTubing in that particular news segment. You are making this about a VTubing problem. Again, this is a complete problem of said individual getting indoctrinated, because probably being mentally ill and also being very impressionable. This is not a VTubing problem. This is a wider internet fucking problem. And this is also a mental fucking health problem. Because no one normal behaves like that particular 19-year-old Elijah, or whatever the fuck his name was. Making this a VTubing fucking problem is just very off the fucking cuff. Yeah, fuck the normies. They don't get it. We're not all like this, I agree. But sponsors, again with the fucking sponsors thing. The Vialure argument was also because, fucking lollies, the sponsors are watching. If the sponsors see lollies acting lewd, the sponsors would not want to get into that. Ana Valens always fucking believes they think about the wider fucking picture when it comes to VTubing. What about the sponsors, business, academics? What about those YouTube intellectuals? They're going to start talking. No one's gonna fucking be talking about this. You're the only one talking about this in this particular way. What's the deal with VTubing thing anyway? Why is there so much controversy around it in politics? And that's not the question you want to ask, and as it comes with risks. Risk like decreasing sponsorship spending. Stop fucking with the concern trolling. No fucking sponsors are gonna be backing off because a guy had a fucking Pipkin Pippa shotgun and Pipkin Pippa merch. This is so fucking stupid. Let me tell you something from personal experience, chat. This year, I unfortunately will not be able to go to Anime Expo or anywhere else for that matter, because I'm dealing with some things. But last year, I was at Anime Expo, and VTubing has grown significantly on there. AX is used as sort of a bar when it comes to judging and gauging industry interest in specific anime-related things. And VTubers in general were very big last year at AX. Bigger than most other conventions, and as AX is a place where all of anime-adjacent industry people mingle, and share business information, and in order to further their own agendas and business purposes. You can easily tell that VTubing is getting more popular, and stupid shit like that nobody cares about and no one actually noticed is going to change any of that. I can assure you that VTubers at AX 2025 this year are going to be even more prominent than they were last year. So no, none of this shit is relevant, and none of this doom posting, none of this concerned trolling is gonna come to fruition. This is all, again, Anna Valens's predictions. Anna Valens tends to have this sort of tendency to go on these. How would I even say this? Anna Valens believes that a particular. Are we back, chat? The feds got me for a minute or two. Say something in the chat if we're so back, or if it's so over. Let me refresh the chat real quick. Okay, we're back. What did I last end on? Like, what was the thing where I got cut off? Do tell me, because I was I was monologuing very hard. And I'd like to know where I ended on, so we can get back to the point. Okay, I was talking about AX. Essentially, AX is a good bar, is a good measuring point of industry's interest in anime-related interest in that particular industry. So if VTubing is going to be big at AX, then you can bet your ass that none of these controversies that Anna Valens mentions here are going to have any impact. And I can bet your ass, again, that VTubing is going to be much bigger during this year's AX than it was last year. Because that's how it is. There were huge fucking concerts last year, and I bet there's gonna be ones this year as well. And VTubing in general is just gonna take a bigger stage on everything. At least that's what I believe. But those of you that are attending AX, will see for yourself. So again, all of these concern trolling, all of this fucking doom posting that you see from Anna Valens means very little. So yeah, sponsors will not notice this shit, because sponsors do not care. And Anna Valens trying to make a big deal out of this won't work either, because Vice is a rag and no one reads that shit. And no one is that fucking interested outside of Blue Sky in order to paint Pippa as this weirdo right-wing conspiracy theorist, but also just a shock jock, just an innocent little rabbit that has nothing to do with all of these right-wing fans, That's what it's gonna be. Let's continue reading, because it's almost over. Now is a good opportunity to look around the VTubing space at large and ask, well, what's going on here? What's up? Because I don't think the problem is Pippa. She's just a comedian, but the industry around Pippa that allows bad actors to hang out in fan bases, communities, and conventions across the industry. And trust me, the weirdos are going to keep popping up with other Oshi's names scribbled on their own rifles or whatever, I'm sure. And if that doesn't convince you, well, do you really want to have an awkward conversation with mom and dad about your Oshi in the news? Yeah, probably not. Again, those conversations will not happen, because normal people are just going to be seeing, oh, anime, whatever, and VTubing is not going to be mentioned in any sort of particular way, because it's not relevant to the fucking issue. Because, when actual proper industry, or other proper journalistic entities report on that stuff, they're gonna be reporting facts, and the fact that VTubing is not relevant to the thing happening in that particular case, then it's just no one's gonna be paying that much attention to it, and that's gonna be that. So that's the article, and you may be wondering what happened after that. Well, you won't have to be wondering for very long. Let me get that ready. There it is. So, after the article dropped, of course, Pippa fans were outraged that Valens even decided to mention Pippa in an article, or even write that article in the fucking first place, because why would you even fucking do that? What's the fucking point of any of that? Well, it just so happens that, one particular drama tuber on the leftoid side called Safira de Noma decided to take a look at this particular article and, not think about it too critically. Just, show to everybody that Valens was really truthful, very honest about all of the presentation of that article. And that was just a real, true and honest defense of Pipkin Pippa and nothing else. And she says, that feel or that face when I see people from that side being triggered over Anna Valens's new article, but like, her article is so normal. Am I too woke? Like, genuinely don't get the hate for it. Can they read? I'm convinced the answer is no, because they just see an Anna Valens and start screeching. It's so funny seeing people go, Anna is attacking Pippa, read the article, and then go, wait, Anna is defending Pippa? Anna Valens replies, which, yeah, I am LMAO, literally wrote about her positively years ago. And Safera replies, these people literally just think you're here to attack anyone, just cover, but deadass just prove they cannot read that for shit, LMAO. Someone even said you're a fake Pippa fan, but gave no proof that you were, so it's like crying emoji. They're just so mad for no reason. Ha 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 ha. I'm a fake Pippa fan? I even said in the article that I wouldn't call myself a kapipi. Just someone who thinks she's funny and talented. I have a lot of respect for her. It's why I wrote the article, and also why I broke away from Blue Sky a bit on this take. A bit is a little bit of an fucking statement, but we'll see about that. Also, I think it's fine if people don't like me. I will never like me, but at some point I hope they understand when our goals and values align. Yeah, ultimately, all you want is a better, more positive space, especially where we try to make a market outside of this niche. But if all mainstream news knows VTubers as the Nazi terrorist fans, we're so fucking cooked as a whole. Again, not even taking into account that this was local news and nobody gave a shit beyond that point. Part of the reason why I wrote the article is popping up first searches for VTuber arrest and some... Well, you see... That's the reason, for fucking clicks. So you can get your agenda across. And some such things I wanted to beat other outlets to the story before they start claiming Pippa specifically is the problem or other stupid shit. And no one gives a damn. No one beats you. I mean, you beat nobody to it because nobody cares. I definitely appreciate you helping clear the air on our side, Anna. Because 100% other news places would definitely go VTubers worse than anime. Again, fucking VTubers are nowhere near mentioned there. And dear lord, I don't need another anime equals Satanism. Bullshit again for VTubers. Yeah, I got you. VTuber to VTuber. Which is very funny considering Anna Valens's Twitter account has a profile of their mug in it, so VTuber to VTuber, really. I'm not as optimistic as you about the space's future, but I do ultimately believe that the industry can fix its problems It acknowledges them, which is why I do what I do. Or at least try to speak from a place of knowledge about the fucking space. Again, chat, this is coming from someone that didn't even fucking know that Nyanners has left Shoujo like many years ago at this fucking point. Not to mention a plethora of other, you know, weird theories about VTubing. This is a clear VTuber expert like no fucking other. But before we continue, before I show you something else, I need to reset the YouTube chat after the disconnection. Because it's kinda dead in OBS. Let me refresh the cache on it. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we're back with the chat in OBS. But then, you know, I decided to intervene because I see behind all of this bullshit, and I decided to call it out on Twitter. And I posted the following things from Valens's own fucking Discord. Here is Valens replying to someone that says, "Ew, Pippa, I tried to avoid her like the plague." Spelled wrong, and probably will here too. Really hate her white supremacy, shoot up Walmart, haha, JK, unless so-called humor. And your succubus, which is Anna Valensky, replies, "I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop on her." And in case you don't know what this idiom means, it means Valens is waiting for Pippa to slip up on something, so Valens can capitalize on Pippa making a mistake. So, you see. You see the good intentions in that, chat? Do you think someone would write something like this, knowing, having good intentions to defend Pippa? Do you really think so? Can you really believe it? As a popular Chinese VTuber once said. You really believe that? And you know, and then they continue talking about Pippa. It sucks because I liked Pippa from my limited viewing of her, but then she goes outside and shits the other foot. I'm not surprised. I think it'll be her conspiratorial streak that eventually gets platforms to boot her. She plays that a lot straighter than the jokes about needing there to be more what babies and other rephrasing of the 14 words. The alt-right VTuber doesn't like a non-alt-right take. Color me surprised, to which Anna Valens replies with a crying laughing emoji. Yes, that really shows all of that love for Pippa, doesn't it? And there was more, which I haven't shown to anybody yet. Remember how I said that Valens does everything out of this weird sense of getting back at someone for slighting Anna Valens? That emote that I established in other streams that I did for you guys? Well, did you know that Valens knew about Pippa's opinion about Valens? That one particular clip that I played about with Pippa saying that, you know, essentially the author of the Allure piece, which is of course Anna Valens, is a piece of shit. Well, here is Anna knowing about this particular piece. This is why I stopped, says Anna Valens. This linking that particular that particular clip where Pippa bashes the Allure hit piece. So yeah, Valens knew. Valens was waiting for something to happen with Pippa, so Valens could write the article, because notice the dates here. This is April. This is way back in April. Valens was just waiting. Even that previous one. This is also just April. Valens was waiting for this opportunity all the fucking time, and it showed itself. Because one deranged schizo decided to, you know, uh, be what he is, I guess. But this is not where it ended, chat. Nowhere fucking near. It got funnier and continued to get funnier and funnier as Anna Valens, decided to double down on that fucking defense. As we go into the second part, which is gonna be very short and sweet. Hold up. So, article drops. Valens is getting felted by Pippa fans, and it just so turns out that Blue Sky is not very happy about Valens writing a very subterfuge-filled piece on Pippa, framing it as a defense, because, they actually took it literally as a defense of Pippa, not really understanding Valens's intentions in writing all of that. So, here's the start of this backlash, or rather, maybe a little bit of in the middle of it, where Valens sees what's happening on fucking Blue Sky and decides to comment on it. I think some folks on Blue Sky might be taking their criticism of my Pippa article a little too far. I'm not going to sit here and cry over good faith criticism. Yeah, good faith. That really describes your way of writing to a T. It's all in good faith. But a couple of people are taking things way too far. I do think Blue Sky's VTubing community has a responsibility to respond to how out of control the rhetoric is getting on there. Once you sling around accusations like this and major influential VTubers, major/influential VTubers on Blue Sky means very little. It's like saying VTweeter opinions matter. Trust me. If Valens says anyone is major and influential on Blue Sky, it means that they're very likely some kind of VTweeter level, quote-unquote VTuber. that's the level of influence they have in that particular community and on overall VTubing in general. Blue Sky silently let those claims go unaddressed. You're creating discourse with no boundaries and no limits on what can be said or alleged. It's very funny that every single time Valens gets felted by someone, Valens also mentions that someone needs to come to Valens's defense, like there's some kind of privilege that Valens has that needs to be constantly reaffirmed. Like, come defend me. Like, why aren't people fucking defending me? Please help me. It's so fucking funny that someone like this can act this way, like, so full of themselves that, they actually, have this weird God-given right to be defended for the stupid shit that they do. And here's the post that in Valens's tweet. My 2 cents on today's agenda. Months ago, way prior to the Kuri situation, I was told to be wary of Anna Valens as they were suspected of being a Nazi or Nazism adjacent. I'm guessing their war with Kisha was just a way to hide that fact. The truth eventually came out. Yes, all of those articles that Valens has written, it's just been a gay ops to hide Valens's own fucking Nazi allegiance. People on Blue Sky are some sort of special. They're really, really fucking special, chat. And this is just the prelude to what you're gonna be seeing. Because it gets so much funnier than this particular tweet. But it's like, isn't like this is the ultimate fucking irony? Like, you tried to paint someone as a Nazi, only for it to backfire on you spectacularly because of a mild opinion about somebody that you just actually like them, or say that you like them, and then you get called a Nazi for that. Sad, and then Valens continued with that short tirade. Sadly, I fear the VTubers on Blue Sky who actually stoke the flames of this and let it get out of hand are never going to address nor respond to the transphobia that they unleashed. And it's always the same kind of defense. Like, something happens to Valens, Valens gets fucking felted and kicked in the fucking ass. And the initial defense for that, oh, it's trans misogyny. It's transphobia. Again, to blame. You just don't like what I said because transphobic reasons. Fucking fantastic. Because it would require them to admit their fan bases of bad actors waiting with knives out to attack. And this is actually something I agree with, because leftoids are just like that. They pretend to have this togetherness. They pretend all of themselves to be allies with one another. But when someone steps out of line for something as mild as, in this particular case, the opinion about Pippa, then they just get fucking destroyed. They get executed, because that's what it was. Excommunication, and then, execution. A trans woman for petty reasons, piggybacking of good faith criticism. I like that good faith criticism is repeated again here. To do this, they are secretly a Nazi. Shit that can really destroy a trans woman's reputation. Let social ostracization. Valens, I don't think you have any reputation to salvage at this point. Nobody likes you anywhere. Stop pretending that you ever had like this lofty high opinion in some circles, that you were some kind of god-given messiah. This is some fucking delusion. Let me read that super chat real quick. Solon Village, thank you for the 100 hours. Can have a humor, bigots. Imagine if someone cries because they/them got their feel-good politics challenged by reality. Or are we gonna be seeing a lot of those challenges going forward? you can bet your ass. Not that it will affect me in the long term, but this would destroy a less well-connected trans woman's social network and mental health. Like, imagine like glazing yourself, like even fucking here, even as you're getting kicked in the butt by every from every conceivable angle, you still have this high opinion of yourself that you're this well-established, well-liked creator online, and that someone lesser than you would have fared much worse. Really bad. And I know it's mainly because a couple leftist VTubers didn't like the VSona thing. Oh, we're gonna get to the VSona thing too, chat. I completely forgot about the VSona thing, because this is a very important part of this whole thing. And we're gonna get to that too. Do not worry. I will explain what the VSona thing is. And then, it's 100% because the VSona thing. The people who used and / manipulated criticism to go after me. It's because they didn't like the fact I proposed something that might lead to some people abandoning VTuber name. Honestly, just disappointed. Real Blue Sky users now deciding I'm a filthy pervert for discussing the fic that got Kisha banned. They just got another example of the rhetoric on their going from good faith criticism to this trans woman is bad and problematic, and you all need to hate her. And that particular thing mentioned here is content wording rape mention. I think what got me the most was that during the harassment campaign, she was openly advertising her own incest rape con fanfiction, and everyone was suddenly defending it just because she was being harassed. So you see, they already started digging up a lot of shit on Valens at that point to just completely destroy whatever reputation Valens had at that point. But again, you probably need a little bit of context. What the fuck is a VSona? Well, let me explain real quick. I have a particular folder here as well. Let me get that up, and then we can get to the real funny shit. So if you think this was funny, you haven't seen anything yet. Let me try to get the VSona thing. Okay, there it is. So, to preface, I don't know if any of you remember something from the very far past of the English VTubing scene. There was some people, like back in like 2020 or 2021, when VTubing in the English space was just starting to grow significantly. There were some people seeing other people behave weirdly using the term VTuber, and they wanted to disconnect themselves from that term. It was the usual VTweeters that did that, because they saw lolly and lolicon VTubers being popular. They've seen all of those terrible bigoted VTubers with opinions that weren't PC enough and that sort of thing. So there was this small movement back then where they decided to abandon the term VTuber and tried to use something else. And they decided on something called VStreamer. None of that went very far. It was a complete non-starter. And like very few people used that to begin with. But they tried to do something like this before. The VSona thing is something very similar. It's well established for what it has been over the last few days, but it died very quickly, considering the originator of this particular term and this particular call to action is Anna Valens, and considering Anna Valens has the opinion of being Satan nowadays among blue sky people, because that's where the VSona thing first came to be. You can see how, you know, this wouldn't go very far considering who it's fucking connected to. I described this thing as an atheism plus for VTubers, because that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it portrays itself to be. So a few days ago, June 12th this year, Anna Valens has a bright idea. Because Anna Valens also has the, like, I would even say it's a pathological need to be in the center of attention. So Anna Valens decided to invent a thing that people could get behind called VSona. On the question of VTuber as a label, I'm pretty supportive of using / finding another term. I like the idea of moving away from the label and simply referring to oneself as a creator with a digital or virtual avatar. Well, you may be asking yourself, why move away from that thing? Well, you will see very soon. I like virtual persona / VSona as an alternative to VTuber. VSona also just goes hard. Yeah, it goes hard into the trash. It sounds like a Tumblr term. So I'm guessing that's going to be appealing to people in Blue Sky because they share this particular mindset that Tumblrites used to have many years ago. So I'm not surprised that they think something called VSona goes fucking hard. Yes, someone even in the chat mentioned it. Sounds like a fursona. Yeah, it certainly goes very hard for them. Let's continue. VTuber goes into VSona, and Valens is here very proud, not being a VTuber anymore, but a VSona. My thinking is virtual persona, Versona, or VSona. Up to the community to decide what nomenclature is your preference. Regardless, I just think we need to split away. I don't think anyone of significance has said that, and I'll openly post about the label VTuber, not meaning that it's how people are going to take it. At Anna Valens, is that what you meant? I doubt it, but I thought I'd directly ask. No, I think people can use both terms if they want to. I just think we need to set ourselves apart from the VTuber community by using / relying on a term that suggests higher standards beyond what's going on in VTubing. Because, you know, VTubing is apparently just full of bigots and right-wingers now, and all full of drama and, you know, just unpleasantness and negativity. So these are going to be the people that's going to be establishing new standards of etiquette, new standards of behavior as their visonas. And Valens will be at the head of it. Because a pervert that likes to touch themselves to children's video games is the perfect person to head such a movement. Along with all of these people on Blue Sky. Disappointing to see so many people supporting this fracturing of the community by encouraging the use of alternate labels to VTuber. This is not the way to go about this. So as you can see, people, even weird furry VTubers had a problem with separating from the label VTuber even back then. So imagine you try to do something for people and they're so ungrateful that even a furry tells you that this is not the way to go. But why do we need to reclaim an entirely new term when VTuber is right there? This makes zero sense to me. I mean, you're not reclaiming anything if you're just inventing it, and you guys aren't going to be reclaiming any terms because you never owned them, because no one owns the term VTuber. There's not some standard set for VTubers out there. A lot of people in the VTubing space are not great, and it's fine to abandon it if people wish. Sorry, this seems really pointless. Like, respect for trying, but nah. Fuck this. This ain't it. I'm tired of giving ground. I'm tired of moving to something else every time the fash fucks show up in the hobbies I'm involved in. I'm sticking out the VTuber moniker. I'm a bit trans AF about it. And then here, Valens links part of the VSona pledge. We'll get to that. I'm not reading this right now, but we'll get to this. My estimate is that VTubing will be similarly run into the ground, and pledging behind a code of conduct that exists in protest to many major issues in VTubing is not a defeat of the label. It's an opportunity to empower others to speak out as a collective in numbers, say as Blue Sky, because Blue Sky is such an important place for VTubing, and it's so fucking influential. The truth is most creators need a unified community or name to speak out. This is that opportunity. The term is not intended as a complete replacement of VTuber, but something that can either exist parallel to or instead of. Values include saying no to bigotry in one's space, moderating one's community, treating other creators with respect, seeing one's community as their responsibility. Also, even if you don't like the name itself, you're welcome to base your rules around the code of conduct. I understand people don't want to surrender the term VTuber. Hey, I still consider myself one too. But unless people engage in active organizing to confront social issues in the space, nothing will change. No one will do the work for you. If you want the term, you gotta actively defend it. As you can see, Valens is really trying to recruit people. Calls to action. If you're not gonna be doing anything, you're pretty much almost complicit in it. This involves things like organizing boycotts around specific brands seen as enabling problems in the space. Extremely organized stream initiatives around things like Hogwarts Legacy 2, Electric Boogaloo, I guess. Oh, these fuckers should just fucking attempt to do that fucking again. Oh, it's gonna end so terrible for them. If it ended terrible back then, right now this is gonna be Armageddon. They're gonna be flying off fucking walls. That's how bad it's gonna be if they try this shit again. And yes, going back to Twitter to get the word out on key issues, it's very hard work. It's my personal belief that if people want the community to change, it's actually something you have to invest most of your energy and time into. Because this problem is so big, requires real, organized, dedicated labor. Difficult stuff. Better understood as an active culture war happening in VTubing right now. And it's not meeting the moment, just insist on using the term. Like you have to figure out how to mobilize the larger community on Twitter, for example. And since most people here refuse to go back to Twitter, that's a surrendered opportunity, stuff like that. So you see, even Valens acknowledges that these people are just fucking lazy cowards. And they won't fucking do anything. They're just waiting for things to happen, and they just complain in their little echo chamber that's fucking blue sky. But yeah, they try another fucking boycott, they're gonna be making Hogwarts Legacy 2 another fucking bestseller of the fucking year. That's what they're gonna be doing. Just had to reply to somebody, but you're probably interested in the VSona thing. Well, and about this whole fucking pledge, because yeah, there's a bigger explanation to it, as created by Anna Valens themselves, with the pinned at that time pinned post. Virtual persona, or VSona / Versona, it's just about a new name. It's about the set of standards, a code of conduct, set of values for creators who engage in content creation via virtual avatar. Join me in sharing and signing the virtual persona pledge. Join the cult today. Let's read through this, because this is where it gets really fucking funny. The virtual persona pledge. A different approach to creating content via a virtual avatar, distinct from but sometimes intersecting with VTubing. By Anna Valens. It is my simple and firm belief that the English language VTubing industry has a rot that's festered with transphobia, homophobia, racism, colorism, misogyny, and whorephobia. Cat. I have to ask this very uncouth question. Do you like horse, chat? Because if you don't like horse, I guess you're whorephobic. What do you think, chat? Do you have a case of the whorephobia? God damn. And it's very fucking funny. All of these things that, would be a big issue for a lot of people are coupled with something called fucking whorephobia. Let's continue. Yes, many VTubers and VTuber fans are lovely people. There are bad actors running rampant in the space, causing problems. Problems that have existed for years. Problems that cannot be changed without the wider community consensus. Yet the contemporary EN VTubing community is too conflict averse to address these issues. Until this mindset changes, bigotry will continue to be a major issue in the English VTubing. Additionally, it is my personal belief that the VTubing community has major problems with harassment, emotional maturity, healthy boundaries between viewers and creators, and a focus on popularity and profit over creation and community. With these things in mind, I would like to introduce a set of rules and guidelines for other creators to pledge to under a specific name separate from VTubing. This is called the Virtual Persona Pledge, with Versona, or VSona for short. Versona / VSona. I just kind of imagine like a Persona 3 person shooting themselves in the head, yelling VSona to themselves. Fucking fantastic image in my head. Is the identity that creators can use as an alternative to VTuber. They can also use it in conjunction with VTuber. The goal is to introduce a name and identity with a code of conduct that one holds themselves to. A set of values and behavioral standards one promises to meet and maintain. Yes, Anna Valens is in fact a whole fucking circus rolled into one person. Every single thing Anna Valens does is some kind of weird act of comedy. Unintentional, but still fucking hilarious. It never gets fucking old. And here it is. Here are the commandments. How many are there? There's only 8. There's not 10. To not make it a religious experience, there's only 8 commandments in this virtual persona pledge. The virtual persona pledge. As a versona /vsona I'll pledge to. 1. Create content that does not promote bigotry, including but not limited to racism, colorism, transphobia, misogyny, ableism, and whorephobia. Fucking whorephobia, man. 2. Foster a community that is welcoming to marginalized viewers across races, genders, sexualities, classes, disabilities, religions, cultures, and various other walks of life. But what if someone is from a religion that has human sacrifice? Should I welcome them into my community? Should I be tolerant of people that eat other people, or sacrifice people to the sun god for better crops in the summer season? Is that bigotry if I decide not to let a person like that into my community? Is there a limit to tolerance? But I guess there isn't. 3. Treat my colleagues in the way I would like to be treated. If I have a disagreement with another, I will engage in good faith dialogue and honest communication. If our differences are reasonable, I will refrain from gossip, rumor spreading, sabotage, and harmful behaviors. That's impossible, because VTubing is a high school. And people also have that kind of mindset there. That's just an impossible thing to maintain completely. 4. Moderate my community to the best of my ability. As a creator, I understand that set the tone of standards for my fans. Viewers who express bigotry will not be tolerated. Fans who harass others on my behalf will be shown the door. 5. Demonstrate healthy boundaries between myself and my fans. Parasocial relationships are normal in content creation. But I will create and maintain healthy boundaries with my audience. I will not encourage fans to obsess over me to the detriment of their mental health, nor financial stability. I will inform myself of authoritarian cult behavior to protect myself, my fans, and others from manipulation. 6. Protect minors from harm. This is something Valens has already broken. Retroactively, but still. But I guess at this point, Valens has a clean slate if nothing can be applied retroactively. Just that fucking just playing the Fall Guys games with the fucking butt plug is already putting minors in danger. So not too sure about Valens, being committed to that 6th point. If my stream involves mature, explicit, or otherwise sexual content, underage viewers will be banned. There will be clear, obvious, and unavoidable indicators that my content is 18 plus only. If I'm a LootTuber, my Discord server will engage in age verification measures. Or, just don't have a Discord server in the first place. 7. Respect creators will walk a different path than my own. Oh, that's already fucking broken, considering that fucking Vialure article and Valens's opinion about fucking Lolly and Lolicon VTubers. So, that's also broken already. I will respect differences of religion. I will respect cultural differences. I will respect different content creation paths other than my own. If I am a safe for work creator, I will not stigmatize nor disparage not safe for work creators. Unless they're whores, but then I'm whorephobic, so it's kind of a dead end, I'd say. I respect sex work as work, even if it's not the job for me. 8. Listen to criticism from marginalized viewers and creators with compassion. I understand that no one is perfect, and if I struggle or make mistakes, I will make good faith effort to understand marginalized viewers' point of view. I invite others who use virtual avatars to hold themselves to a higher set of standards. Other than not are not being met by certain parts of the contemporary EN VTubing community. If you'd like to commit to the pledge listed above, feel free to sign your name below along with your preferred socials, either on here or on Blue Sky. This will be shared in. Consider this a code of conduct to hold oneself to, one's community to, and each other to. And there's a whole comment section where people pledge themselves to the fucking cult. Slaneshi cultists, all of them, about to be transformed into some fucking abominations of pleasure and pain. Here you have a small list of them. Pledging. Just I, Celia Mare, signed the virtual persona pledge. Here's more of this. and there were more on Blue Sky itself as well. This shit is so fucking weird. It's like people playing pretend. It's like people in their own fucking treehouse, just, you know, well, not people, like men, children, and women, men, children, girl, children, I guess, just playing pretend, thinking they're better than others. Like, this is my clubhouse. Fuck off. No bigots allowed in my fucking treehouse. And at first, this had, kind of a positive reception. A lot of people have signed this. There were more posts on Blue Sky that were very positive to this idea. But I also showed you a few examples where people were just, yeah, this shit is fucking whack. I don't want to have anything to do with it. And VSona has been one of the central things that Valens got raked over when the whole Pipkin Pippa defense article dropped. So now we get into the last part of the stream, which showcases how Valens got felted on Blue Sky from every conceivable fucking direction. Because the Blue Sky reaction, my dear chat, was immense and almost immediate. Let's see what people had to say. And if I need to give you a little bit of context on the people that say this sort of shit, you have to know that Blue Sky congregates all the people that I have covered in some way or another on my channel, on my YouTube channel, or on Twitter. Mavis here, Mavis de Luna is one of these people. To give you a little bit of context who Mavis is a person that doesn't believe that anti-white racism is real. And when I called her out for being racist to perceived racism labeled against her, she got very upset about that. You know, just saying all kinds of shit about white people and just being outraged that white people dare to question Mavis's opinion. And Mavis's opinion about Anna Valens after the Pippa article also reflects those anti-white sentiments, which you will see as I read through this, because this is fucking glorious. Anna Valens deactivated her account. I have several things to say about it, and I want to talk about her actions and only her actions. Fred. 1. I think Anna is absolutely still recovering from massive hate waves sent her way. I absolutely empathize with her. This would mess with someone's mental health. I don't blame her. She was abandoned by the peers that mattered most when it came to standing by her, as well as victim blamed. 2. Instead of apologizing for her misstep, the misstep is defending Pippa, by the way, she deactivated. Maybe she was overwhelmed, couldn't handle the heat her way. I get it, but should have apologized. It is not okay. Her opinions and actions done today are extremely harmful to BIPOC folks. When I said my piece to her, I was gentle. I am done being gentle. White peers, please think about the consequences of your actions. Too many of you put your whiteness first and plug your ears when racism is involved within the LGBTQI plus community. You're telling me and plenty of others. QTPOC. I fucking hate these abbreviations. QTPOC. That sounds so stupid. It is not safe. Trust you. The fascists in this scenario are going to come for us first on the base of racism, and then they're going to come for you because you are queer. Yeah, but what does this have to do with Pippa, though? Criticizing Nazis, then showing support for someone who is friendly with Nazis, engages in racist humor, and reducing that to shock jock content is deeply misinformed and dangerous. White folks, stop trying to lead movements! You are failing at it miserably. You are not yet equipped for any sort of revolution. Yes, white people historically known to fail at revolutions. Chat, if you know your history, you know a lot of revolutions in history, very bloody ones, by the way, which I do not endorse personally, have been led by white people, but they weren't led by white people because they were white. They were just happened to be white, and they just happened to be very effective at leading revolutions against other people. You know, that one particular country that a lot of you may know as the United States. That's a little country that has roots from a very, very notable revolution. But, you know, let's not get into that because Mavis here has her own opinions about that. Yeah. White people, very bad at revolutions. Sit back and listen to those more marginalized than you actively be anti-racist and anti-fascist. You can't be the latter and not you can't be the latter and not the former. I hate this kind of rhetoric. These people just want to feel like victims all the fucking time, especially Mavis. White folks, stop trying to lead movements. You're failing. I read this one already. I pulled my support for Anna and unfollowed because as an indigenous person, that was a deal breaker for me. I don't hate her. I want her to be well. I hope she can find peace and success in her field and her life. But as a native person, I'm really sick of white allies dropping the ball. Too many white queer folks are perfectly okay with ignoring racist rhetoric, or are completely unaware of microaggressions and subtle racism, and I don't know the signs. I don't know the signs. When we point out racism, we are so quickly dismissed and told we are overacting. Well, wow. I wonder why that is. Maybe this whole fucking thread is a good example of all of that. This is a huge problem. So she says, if you mess up, it's absolutely okay to just admit you messed up and were ignorant. An apology, a genuine goes a long way. No, it doesn't. Not in the leftoid circles. Apologizing to any leftoids is just a death sentence. It's just a show of weakness. And basically saying, fuck me in the ass right now. And do not use any lube. I will take whatever you have up my keister. Any spiked tool, any hot rod that you may have in your pocket, I will take it all. And I will have no problems with that. That's what an apology is to these people. Do not do it. Ever. Ever, ever. Never ever apologize. But yeah, that's fucking Mavis. And then they had a little conversation with other people here. And as you can see, this anti-white sentiment is very deeply ingrained, inscribed in that person's soul. Again, white folks, stop trying to lead the revolution. Your ancestors regarding the US are why we need the revolution in the first place. And you need to understand that, unpack that what comes with, and listen to your BIPOC peers. Criticizing your mistake is not an attack. We want you to grow and stand with us, but you keep failing. I read this thread and agree with everything, but what did Anna do? And then they just fucking explain. And the conclusion that this person got here. Holy fuck, that sucks. White trans folks need to stop doing this. So you see, chat, you're just not oppressed enough on the scale of oppression when it comes to being a white transgender person. See, in order to be infallible, in order to sit at the top of all of this, you need to be a physically and mentally disabled black woman, probably with a trans woman with a peg leg, probably an eye patch too, with a pirate accent. Then and only then will you be able to have all the power, and no one will be able to question you. Otherwise, you're just failing. Because if you're white, you're just immediately tainted and disqualified. Because people will just not see you, as any serious contender for anything. And that's Mavis's opinion. Chat. It's so fucking easy to get radicalized seeing all of this shit. Like, you're just like, you see this shit, you read this, you try to logically figure it out with your mind. You want to piece it together so it makes any kind of sense. And then you're like, wow, these people are so fucking annoying. I wish someone would hit them in the face. And that's how you get radicalized. Like, that's how it begins. You see this shit and say, wow, how fucking annoying. I wish this person would shut the fuck up. And that's where it begins. Also, I have to point here, this post that I didn't read. This is a funny thing. Like, let me read this real quick. DLDR wrote an article defending Pipkin Pippa, written with eyes, eyes fucking replaced by ones, and an A replaced by 4. Replace number with vowels because, Mavis thinks the person they're talking to is, I guess, retarded. And they don't know what these things fucking are a replacement for. And the fact, listen, Blue Sky is already such a fucking hack box that, they have tags for specific posts that may be rude or, bigoted, because you can fucking get tagged as those if you post something like that on Blue Sky. Even in such a fucking hack box, these people have to code what they say about specific individuals, so it's not as searchable via this particular social media search function. Even on that fucking place, these people have to hide themselves from others so that, they don't see that someone mentioned Pipkin Pippa. These people are so fucking soft in the head. It's just fucking baffling. But, this is just the beginning. This is just one person. Well, 2 people, rather, but the backlash was so much fucking bigger than that. Let's continue. My 2 cents on today's agenda. Months ago, way prior to the Kirche situation, I was told to be wary of Anna Valens, as they were suspected of being a Nazi or Nazism adjacent. I'm guessing their war with Kirche was way to hide that fact. The truth eventually came out. Also, what I understand is why people defend them when they were found to be glorifying rape and unconsensual sexual violence for fanfics and comments they made. Like, what the fuck? Don't put anyone on the pedestal. Defend your own beliefs. Be your own advocate. The problem is that people are willing to rush to defend when trigger words or certain scenarios are presented that they feel like they've been attacked as well. I believe that everyone deserves to be treated with respect, but don't blindly defend people. Be your own person. Live to that. The chat, this is the beginning of the so-called purity spiral. And for those of you that are uninformed of what that is, it is when a community decides to get so extreme with their opinions that moderate or, opinions, beliefs that were previously considered to be reasonable and down to earth are no longer tolerated because the person at the top needs to be the most righteous and the most pure, ideologically speaking. And this is the beginning of such a process here. As you can see, Anna just getting completely eviscerated, and all of the things that these people have tolerated thus far are just being kicked out because Anna has now become the enemy because of one particular opinion, and that is the defense of Pipkin Pippa. It's fucking amazing. Anna Valens deactivated her Blue Sky account again because she refuses to acknowledge Pipkin Pippa being a neo-Nazi. And there's that Reddit post again that I previously shown on a stream like years ago that tries to portray Pippa as a fucking neo-Nazi with the hashtag drop Pipkin Pippa from years ago. And these people just take it word for word. So I had time to read this, and genuinely, this is the most idiotic shit I have willingly subjected myself to. Read. Valens wrote out a whole pledge only to later write out the line, she, Pippa, even has a controversy section on Know Your Meme. While she's not a political VTuber, her content is definitely popular with many right-wing VTuber fans, which is goofy and of itself, but that's not even the worst. The worst line, in my opinion, is this one. Some right-wing VTubers make me afraid, but not Pippa, she just makes me laugh. Recently reminded me of someone on TT that mentioned how right-wing bullshit gets a hold because of a lot of people will support this shit because it's funny. And really, I'm not shocked, nor am I disappointed. I've been black on the internet for long enough to know that people like Valens, in a general sense, transphobia will get you blocked, by the way, Chud, will always excuse their faves. They did it with PewDiePie, they will do it with Jeffree Star, and the list goes on. Chat. PewDiePie mentioned in 2025, a guy that has been so disconnected from all of this bullshit for so many years now. A guy that started a family that just enjoys his fucking hobbies, living where he lives. It's still being mentioned because, he had a fucking bridge moment and a few other minor controversies that nobody really cares about, and nobody really checked his actual beliefs in the first place. But these people, they remember, and they will go to their graves with PewDiePie on their fucking lips. How fucking sad is that? Let me take a sip. This will all be swept under the bridge by the end of this week. You don't say. And maybe even shorter, because you all claim to be allies and listening, but at the very end of the day, you just aren't. And the purity spiral continues as, who is the most righteous? Who is the purest out of them all to lead this movement that they themselves established? I have a lot to say about Anna Valens thing, but I'm not sure how to say it. But to sum up my thoughts shortly, please look into the people we are defending. She would never have been harassed so awfully. Nobody should have, but I'm honestly not surprised she got milkshake ducked either. Milkshake ducked is a reference to like a person also defending like someone problematic because they happen to be one of their favorites. I will say that there's reasons I never put my nose into this sort of stuff, but what's milkshake ducking? And what happened with her exactly? For context, someone at the No Kings protest attempted to take lives by shooting people but got arrested. Well, they didn't do that just yet. On their person, they had a clear drawing of Pippa, a right-wing VTuber. Ada Valens wrote a piece and now deleted post defending Pippa, stating she had a positive feelings towards her. This comes off incredibly disingenuous because she was fighting right-wing VTubers harassing her and making a whole movement to help people defend against right-wing VTuber. Milkshake duck is a recent term that originated from Twitter in 2017. Basically, no matter how popular the person is, they can be turned on by the community if something's found to be pretty bad. The whole internet loves Milkshake Duck, a lovely duck that drinks milkshakes. 5 seconds later, we regret to inform you that Duck is racist. Ana Valens on my timeline again with another surface level take that doesn't add anything to the social conversation that can and should be had surrounding VTubing. And in this case, detracts from it. We deserve better representation in journalism. This sucks. Harassment also sucks. Don't do that. Fuck their work right now. Like defending Pippa, fuck everything about Ana Valens. We need better people, better representation. Here's a person replying to a now deleted post by Ana Valens defending the Pippa thing. And yet you're refusing to address the current and actual criticisms against you regarding being chummy with a VTuber who wants trans people like you and I dead. Huge exaggeration because Pippa has never stated such a belief. This is not not comparable to harassment you have faced. It's funny how you just invent something in your head, or just completely uncritically believe someone that said it to you, and then you just run with it. You don't even fucking fact check it to see if Pippa ever mentioned anything like that, because she didn't. Wait, what's going on? Ana Valens is handing unironic and uncritical praise to Pipka. Pipkin. Pippa's long lost sister, Pipka. Pipka Pippin. Love that name. I'm gonna use that for something. I'm gonna make like an anti-Pippa called Pipka Pippin. She's gonna be saying all the things these people think Pippa believes. It's gonna be Pipka Pippin, the ultimate right-wing VTuber. A VTuber that is more alike to Kuri than different. Terrible person who jokes about Holocaust denial and George Floyd's death and playing the turf wizard video game. Ooh. Wait, is that the fucking crony profile picture? Yes, it is. God damn it. Tried commenting my thoughts on it, but it seems locked now in the time it took me to write it. Also, something weird. The post in your preview says it was removed, but if I click the link, I can still go to it and look at it. Accidentally sent before I finished. Has that always been the thing on Blue Sky? I figured if it was a post removed, you wouldn't be able to access it with a link. IRC, she just removed the quotes, not the actual post. Dude, what the fuck? This has been a hard and strange day for transphobia and bigotry. Don't you ever wish these people had like real problems? I certainly do. They certainly wouldn't post as much as they do if they had these problems. Did we already know Ana Valens sucks ass and I'm just mixing her up with some other online trans person who sucks? I'm not sure I've heard of her before, but I'm glad to be forewarned. By the way, if you zoom in real close, Zoom real close on the fucking profile. That's it's Boku no Pico character. What was that third one called? Like there's Pico, there's Chico, and there's like a third one. I don't remember which one it is, but this is the last one that was introduced to the series. I just find it really fucking funny that they have a Boku no Pico fucking avatar. You absolutely do not, under any circumstance, gotta hand it to Pippa. Anna absolutely should not have published this article. Easy way to alienate the audience you gained from Kirsche haters to be defending Kirsche's friend. And here's Valens linking that article with defending Pippa. And defending themselves. I hope people understand where I'm coming from and the importance of distinctioning the goals/aims of creator. Shock jock content versus content aiming for political evangelism and conversion. You don't have to agree with my take. I just ask you, keep in mind we have the same goals. I'm honestly furious about what has happened. No, we cannot excuse any intolerance or hate just because it's shock value or for comedy's sake. People do not get free rides just because they are entertaining. I'm so disappointed. We need to be better. What happened? VTuber and journalist Anna Valens, after condemning VTuber Kirsche for bigotry and transphobia, has in the next successive breath endorsed Pipka Pippin as an okay VTuber, in spite of the fact that she has also engaged in much of the bigoted behavior as Kirsche. It's very fucking funny that they misspelled fucking Pippa the second time. Pipka Pippin. Anna herself since said she cannot uphold the V-Soda values of which she wrote herself, so she's stepping away from leading that group. Bigotry, you know how long that lasted? It fucking lasted just a few days. What a fucking movement. I don't even know what to say about this anymore. Bigotry bad, except for when it's funny. Nazi dog whistles. Or just edgy humor. Never ye mind the real world impact of Pippa doubting the Holocaust was real. Never fucking happened. That's not a thing that Pippa has ever fucking said, but whatever. Again, it was already established that these people will fucking believe anything you tell them. Good freaking lord. Here's that furry. Again. Fuck it. So hard not to be I told you so right now. When people are rightly upset over the Anna Valens Pippa revelation. The V-Sona stuff gave me such a strong ick. But I so badly wanted to give the benefit of the doubt, despite my gut screaming at me that something was wrong about it. I don't think the V-Sona movement is bad or anything. And I think that people who want to use it and continue to promote it in a good and healthy way can do good things with it, but away from Valens. Like, imagine creating a movement to for better ethics and morality within VTubing, and it gets taken away from you in a matter of days because you yourself cannot be upholding them. Fucking Christ, man. I hate to say it, but the moment Anna Valens created a whole hashtag named after her was the moment I started to feel a level of discomfort around her. The recent article kind of confirmed my feelings toward her, suffice to say. Anna Valens making excuses for Pippa and fascist connect. Feels a lot like the Social Democrats stabbing Rosa Luxemburg in the back. We thought you were on our side. This proves you can't trust liberals and Social Democrats as fast as you can throw them. Scratch a liberal and a fascist bleeds. Okay, fucking tanky, you fucking hold your fucking horses. Don't start the fucking red revolution on fucking Blue Sky of all places. You see, it's gotten so fucking bad that like not even a commie, like a tanky is coming out, fucking calling for bloody murder. And here's my favorite Face Connect fan, called Soft Tendo, or as I call him Soft in the Head Tendo, who has inexplicitly Amy from Face Connect profile picture, but keeps on dragging on Pippa and Face Connect all the fucking time. You may think this is just a troll, but I think this is just a really fucking mentally ill person. Anna Valens's defense of Pippa is unfortunately your classic Oshi bias. I remember trying to give Pippa a chance back in October 2023, and after a week or so I just gave up. The fanbase is horrifying. I felt uncomfy with some of her jokes. Most of her clippers are awful human beings. Just ew. I am extremely disappointed with the larger voices in the community today. Bar few may have come to bat for Valens and act as an in-club. If you had the spine you all proclaimed to have, you publicly lambast such a shameful showing of support for a fascist. I am ashamed to call some of you mutuals. If you don't want to make me ashamed, don't act in a shameful way. If you don't want me to be disappointed in you, don't turn a blind face to the damage Pippa and all others like her do to vulnerable, queer, and minority people. They inspired a fucking mass shooter. How can you defend that? Bitch, that person, as deranged as they are, they didn't fucking shoot anybody yet. How are you a mass shooter without the mass? To be a mass shooter, one, you need to shoot, and two, you need to shoot a mass of people. That's why it's called a mass shooter. Are you soft in the head like Softendo is? I guess. I guess that's a rhetorical question, though. So the stream where Pippa acknowledged the neo-Nazi 90-year-old was a fan of hers was her most financially successful stream she's ever had. This is why the VTuber community is so fucked and filled with bigots. By the way, I had to double check that, and that's not true. Financially speaking, it's one of Pippa's more successful streams, but certainly wasn't her most successful one. Although a pretty successful one, either way. But nowhere near the most successful. And if you know, Pippa got all of that support is because she was fucking downcast because of all of the shit that has happened surrounding that mention and that image. She didn't mention it in like detail, but she certainly acknowledged that that's a thing that happened, but didn't go into any detail surrounding that either. So this comment is false. I checked it. I did due diligence on this one. Jesus Christ, I'm glad I wasn't following her. Talking about Anna Valens, of course. Heartbreaking. The best person you know just made a terrible point. And if your best person that you know is Anna Valens, then I guess your bar is incredibly low. Oh geez. Now I kind of want to know the context. Says removed by Outer for some reason, but I've still got it. Extremely fucking terrible take about Pippa. The Nazi VTuber that inspired the guy to scratch her name onto a gun, and he planned to do a shooting. Here's that Anna Valens post. Unironically, feels good to get off my chest. I've been hiding my admittedly positive feelings about Pippa for a while, and I was worried people would draw a strange conclusion about my TCOAAL shout out. Enjoying someone's work and finding them talented isn't a full 24/7 endorsement, you know. I'm gonna be honest, responding to people pointing out very hypocritical and frankly dismissive opinion by stepping back from the movement you just spearheaded and saying you can't really speak on what you yourself said further is cowardly. I wasn't going to even say much, but like, what even is this? You all have bad takes sometimes, but this is like bigger than just a bad take, in my opinion. This is someone saying this is okay because Pippa is funny, and the bigoted shock humor is easy to ignore if it doesn't impact you directly as a white person. Again, whiteness comes to the forefront of everything. You know, I have this little folder that I keep on myself. I have a small collection. I call it Pippa out of context. I have many clips, and I just want to play one because I think Pippa is generally funny when she's really out of context. Just get me that one. Hold up.
If Hitler was here, this wouldn't be allowed up.
Could you even hear that one? I'm gonna play it again.
If Hitler was here, this wouldn't be allowed up.
But yeah, Pippa is a little bit of a humorous little bunny. But yeah, this is how these people operate. This is as if I was, you know, taking all of these clips out of context and just taking them completely seriously without further explanation why Pippa said that, in what particular context was it said, and what Pippa generally thinks about that specific issue. So, yeah, this is as if these people have seen clips like this of Pippa and think this is a completely real thing that Pippa thinks and believes. I'll just give you one more as a bonus to you know, break up the monotony of reading all of this deranged shit. I have many of them. They're really fucking funny.
You hate women, but it's entirely unrelated to RuneScape.
Okay, one more. You know, for a hat trick. This one. I love this one.
Press 1 if you're racist.
Yep. Don't press 1, chat. This wasn't an order. You don't have to press 1. But yeah, this is par for the course of Pippa being out of context and taken literally at complete face value. Really disappointed that Pippa is being defended by someone that her fans would gleefully call for the execution of. Maybe you think who your heroes are. Like, if you're chance that, then Pippa's fans would really piss on you if you're on fire. This is who you're going to bat for? Really? Oh shit, this is what happened? Okay, now I understand why people referring to Milkshake Duck. I am sorry, but I don't like this. I could never enjoy anyone's work while knowing they are enabling real harm. There are lines that have to be drawn. You need to let go of Pippa. Just feel like we let go of Harry Potter. I want this quote printed out and hanging on my wall because it's so fucking funny. You need to let go of Pippa, just like we let go of Harry Potter. I'm gonna take a sip for this one. Let it go. Let go of your childhood love for Harry Potter. Let go of your childhood love for Pipkin Pippa. I took a whole 4 days for Anna to crash the whole alternative VTuber name thing that feels like a performative action to self-advertise. I wish I was surprised. The online left is full of sideshow Bob surrounded by fakes. S2G. Yeah. This is what inspired me. Place that clip at the beginning of the stream. It's so fucking right. T-Girl Vinny Wine Sauce says, people could watch a beautiful German lesbian VTuber with an incredibly ovulation-inducing accent, but instead they sit down and do mental gymnastics to defend transphobes, pedophiles, neo-Nazis like Pippa, Kirche, Silverveil, Ririgaki, etc. Fucking excuse me, what? Like, what did you preface all of that shit with? An incredibly ovulation-inducing accent? German lesbian VTuber? Like, and if you're a T-girl, if you're a transgender girl, how the fuck do you know what ovulation is? Like, you don't experience ovulation. It's impossible for you. I am so very confused by this post chat. I told you it's gonna be very stupid. T-girl Vinny Vine sauce, I guess. Vile blood dyke at .lesbian.cat. What the fuck? Vile blood dyke lesbian cat. I'm getting an aneurysm here. Let's move on. There was another one. If you defend Pippa, you're immediately on my shit list. You do not have to hand it the fucking transphobic neo-Nazi VTuber. We regret to inform you the milkshake duck promotes a racist. Oh, I thought this was a well-known meme. Here's the explanation of the meme. As for the occasion, Anna Valens of VTuber and Vice journalist calling out transphobia in the VTubing community fame made another article in which she defended one of the biggest trash edgelords, Pippa. I don't know if I go that far, but it ain't great. I wonder what part goes too far. That she promoted a racist, she minimized the harm Pippa was doing. It's just edgy jokes, like, isn't there pipeline to hate? One I almost fell for, so this is personal to me, or am I misunderstanding? I just think you're very impressionable, and you shouldn't be on the internet if people influence you so easily, but that's just me. Oh, and here's Nyara. That didn't actually want to defend Valens. Like, listen, you have to know this. There are some people that actually defend Valens for the Pippa article, the leftoids. They are actually individuals like that. But they're very cowardly and they will not be doing this on Blue Sky. Nyara has not done that on fucking Blue Sky because Nyara is a groomer coward. And Sephora has not done that on Blue Sky either, but instead of Twitter. Because on Twitter you don't get felted as hard as you do on Blue Sky's echo chamber. So with that out of the way, Nyara says, I don't understand why people are so upset at Anna Valens' newest article, to be honest. I don't watch Pippa, but from what I've heard, she isn't blatantly pushing alt-right conspiracy theories like Kirche. And considering how nobody helped Anna against her, why do you want her to pick more battles? Oh, we don't say that about Pippa, Nyara, and not get fucked in the ass. I don't think that's a very wise thing to say on Blue Sky. I honestly want to tell me what they think she could do instead, having to deal with a massive harassment campaign, what came from pointing the finger at the VTuber who she can't even mention anymore, or she had to end up going to court. Was she supposed to point the finger at another one? So there's this fun thing to called not writing articles defending racists while promoting anti-racist social reform. Really good way to not get people upset with you. Reading the article, do I think she went a bit overboard in defending Pippa? But the article is supposed to be about the arrest and how people may have discovered a VTuber through it. Considering all the hate she's been receiving from mainstream VTubing, I don't judge her for wanting more hate. Like, this person almost got to the point of the actual article, like, 2 reasonable arguments away from understanding why this stupid fucking article existed in the first place. Why it's so important to you that she be absolved of her choices? I feel bad seeing everyone turning against her. She doesn't seem to be a bad person. Well, relative and also wrong. To say she's been going through a lot is an understatement. In fighting like this feels very counterproductive, and I feel like we can't expect her to keep putting herself on the line all the time. Literally no one is asking her to do what she does. Would you feel similar if the person she defended was a known transphobe? Isn't part of the stuff with Pippa that she streamed the Harry Potter game? So yeah, I guess this way, it's just gonna... it's just that people going, no one asked her opinion, sounds way too hostile, considering that hate campaign against her was to silence her in the first place. But anyway, this is not leading anywhere. You don't say. Here's a very well-known, well, at least to me, person linking to why Pippa is bad. Like, this is like a burner account that someone made to shit on Pippa. I actually covered that 2 years or so ago. This particular account. Just taking things out of context for the most part. This is why I'm personally bothered by Anna's article. Thread about Pippa from about 3 years ago. Pippa purposefully played Hogwarts Legacy despite people saying not to play it. She encouraged people to go to Kiwi Farms and supports it. She has mocked George Floyd's death on stream. She's a Holocaust denier. Do I need to add more? A lot of these things are wrong or skewed. Oh my fucking god. Yes, that helps. Thanks, says Nyara. Yeah, it's bad. Worse than just a fan of Pippa got arrested with a gun at a process situation. The funny thing is, Yara, despite knowing this, still is very chummy with Valens on Twitter. These people are so fucking fake as shit. Nobody helped Anna against her. It's just untrue. There were hundreds of chances smaller VTubers here showing constant support. Second, Pippa is at best the most generous understanding of her content, an ironic bigot, which isn't a thing that exists. Pippa's content is disgusting. Really now. Have you really even watched Pippa? I like that this person has Vsona in their name too. Pippa has absolutely been bigoted towards Poc. Also, much as Anna needed more from substantial names, there were a ton of smaller creators who stand up for her. Like, when was Pippa ever bigoted towards POCs or the Pocs? I don't remember such an occasion. As a general rule of thumb, you shouldn't go bad for fascists. Any fascists. Doesn't matter if they made you chuckle or if they invented a life-saving medical treatment. Why isn't defending racist considered picking a battle in this scenario? I'm sorry, but like, where was the whole hashtag an outcry of support for her, which was rightly justified because she was receiving vitriol at levels nobody deserves. But it's also understandable that people are upset her for defending a creator that literally has done and still does the same as Kirsche. Wrong? There's plenty of stuff ATP, and I'm probably just mimicking other replies ATP, but it needs to be said, people are upset. Concerning the other replies, it seems you have your answer, so don't support or platform these people. Just like how you don't support Kirsche and DD others in that article. Pippa is part of that circle, and by extension, her fan base is as well. I would not give her a lot of leeway or play devil's advocate for her. She's a degenerate alt-righter. I looked up and read it, and yeah, it's not written against her. If anything, it defends her. No one can be 100% in control of what their fans do or say, but she's an edgy, and that edgy shit pulls in a lot of kids who don't know better and parrot things creators say. She didn't support the Nazis, guys. She simply told jokes at the Nazi bar. She owns and never wondered why there's so many Nazis there and just allowed them to stay there. Come on, man. The only bar jokes that Pippa has ever said is a guy walks into a bar. That's the joke. That's the only bar joke that Pippa has ever said. That's the only thing related to bars that Pippa has mentioned. A guy walks into a bar. That's the joke. This is how some of you are sounding like with this whole Pippa bullshit. Hey, remember when she mocked George Floyd's death? Was that shock joke? So was also shock joking when she denied the Holocaust? What about when she called trans people freaks and streamed Hogwarts Legacy? She's either a smart and talented comedian or the stupidest woman alive. You can't have both. If Kirsche Valens, like, why the fuck they just constantly mistype their fucking names? It's Kirsche Valens now. It's not Kirsche Verstahl, it's Kirsche Valens. If Kirsche Valens is responsible for the public she entertains and gonna be responsible for the shit they post and do, so can Pipkin Pippa. At least it's not Pipka Pippin this time. And by the way, guess who was the other plushie on that famous picture? It's a Pippa U2's. Oh, the horror. And here's someone replying to Anna Valens's now deleted post. Please do your own research about Pippa. She is very racist, and there are a lot of recipes of her being scum overall. Didn't you know you're following me? Maybe you were added on a block list. And in all honesty, I have blocked anyone defending her. I'm honestly pissed off. I'm so pissed off. Nazis don't get a pass just because you find them funny. And if the shit they say makes you laugh, to think your humor. There's no tolerance in my space for edgy humor. Fuck no. Back off with that shit. No bigotry at all. Period. Why do any of these things need to be said in our spaces? There's no tolerance for racism, transphobia, homophobia, none of that. Just no. Fuck off with that. I've heard people say Pippa is okay because she's the least unhinged of her friends, but still makes her awful. No, thank you. And here's another person replying to Anna Valens's deleted post. I watched the stream last night and thought it was a very, very bad take to say that Pippa wasn't harmless, because Anna Valens also did a stream about Pippa. But I said nothing because, one, I thought I was being too reactionary to that take. After all, everyone is free to have their own opinions, and two, I was terrified of being dogpiled again for having a differing opinion on the take. You see how these people are even in their own spaces? Like, any dissent, any opinion that's not in the fold gets immediately shat on, as you have seen in the case of Valens, for example. So even these, their own people are so fucking afraid to speak their mind because they're afraid of being dogpiled by people that don't share their opinion. Like, what a safe space these people have on Blue Sky with one another. Like, with friends, quote unquote, like these, you don't even fucking need enemies. Being accused of hating a trans woman despite not saying anything of the sort, and so on, but seeing others have the same opinion, yeah. While you may think shock jokes aren't that harmful, they still normalize this horrifying worldview and make it their whole marketing ploy. That makes the already narrow-minded people feel normalized, and that those who are open-minded, who are different race, who are different orientation, and so on, are the ones who are not normal and are idiots for not thinking the way they do. That they are the enemy. And that's not something we should ever forgive or overlook. Just because you enjoyed some of her clips doesn't mean she's guiltless in all of this. She harbored this, provided a space for these ideals to flourish, and nearly turned to a tragedy. I'm glad you're taking a step back. Wish you nothing but growth and reflection and acceptance. I hope that the Visona Versona pledgees can build this community better than actually follow the vows we agreed to without more hand-waving from others about serious topics and individuals with harmful worldviews. We have to be here for... And then they continued, and I didn't screenshot it because it was irrelevant. But it's very funny that people think that this community full of quote-unquote bigots is fostered by Pippa and nobody does anything like that. Like, Pippa has moderation in her chat. There's moderation on the Face Connect Discord. Things like that these people think are happening in Pippa's chat or on the Face Connect Discord, they just do not happen, because if someone decides to say stupid shit like, Nazis are good or any kind of other stupid shit, they get moderated, they get suspended, they get timed out. Everything happens with these people. So yes, Pippa's own community is moderated. You cannot say that shit like that is fostered over there. It's just completely not true. You just would need to watch one of Pippa's streams to actually know that. When the random e-sub you dislike for just being dumb and annoying and unfunny finally is outed for the legitimate reason to dislike them, says Scarlet Magus, the horror VTuber. There's a difference having right-wing fans and being a far-right VTuber spreading malicious beliefs. I personally believe that distinction matters. Some right-wing VTubers make me afraid, but not Pippa. She just makes me laugh. Throwing up emoji. This one is also something you can print and put it on your wall. This one is also very good. If Pipkin Pippa has 0 haters, I am dead. Always remember to boycott Face Connect. It almost rhymed. Pipkin Pippa has 0 haters, I am dead. These fuckers are so deranged. Makes me feel good about Twitter, to be honest with you. But this Blue Sky is very fucking funny with the way these people behave on there. Pippa is not a good person. Understatement of the millennium, I know. So just don't support her, okay? There are plenty of less bigoted bunny girl VTubers out there on the internet. You just have to search for them. I haven't seen many good ones, to be honest. So instead of taking accountability for your words and actions in accordance to the pledge that you yourself made, you're instead distancing yourself from the label entirely. Are you allergic to taking accountability or something, Anna? Yes, Anna is actually allergic to that. This is something I wholeheartedly agree with. Are you afraid of admitting you're wrong and owning up to it? So, there's one of these deleted posts that Valens has, because if you forgot, Valens is now actually gone from Blue Sky, like completely. Deactivated account, might have even deleted that account, and is now only residing on Twitter, to my knowledge. And Valens says this: I understand a lot of people are disappointed with my thoughts on Pippa. I think what would be best for VSona community is if I distance involvement in it for now and release it to the larger VSona community to navigate and lead it larger. All fucking 5 to 10 of you. As per before, I really encourage taking the foundation leading the direction you feel is correct beyond the starting point here. Chat, if you ever see a person with the tag VSona or any kind of VSona in their profile on Twitter. You know, you can avoid that like the fucking plague. It's you know, like in the Bible, when the plagues and all of these terrible tragedies hit Egypt, like, you know, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like seeing that live, just on a social media space. Honestly, I was and am to extent willing to defend her because she got it and still getting death threats over simply speaking out against Kishe. Like, can you people fucking learn to spell these people's names? At least learn the names of the people you hate, you know? That's the very least you could do. And being trans, but her character honestly can't. For this and for making incest smut, the Pippa defense is worse, obviously. Duh. Anna, I love you, but this is frankly horrendous take. As others have said, you're talking positively about Pippa like this is not only goes fully against the Visona pledge that you yourself wrote, but blatantly and deliberately ignores the fact that she has both endorsed alt-right talking points under the guise of edgy humor, and has shown very recently has a white supremacist fan base. Talking positively about a known white supremacist that you had previously denounced as part of the larger Nazi problem within the VTubing space is not only an endorsement, but also deeply and irrevocably hypocritical, genuinely making me wonder where you stand on your values. Valens has none. Valens is there to promote Anna Valens, and that's it. If you even stood for them at all, if you can so easily become a turncoat like this, wow. What a term to use for them. This will damage your reputation in the Visona community, by extension. Visona community. Like a thing that exists. Recant and delete the statement now! Before it's too late. You endorse or you don't. Cherry picking is just enabling the stuff you say you disagree with. You don't say don't buy stuff from Rolling unless the product isn't bigoted. Because supporting her is supporting bigotry. Full stop. Pippa is no different. Sorry, Anna, but you don't get to create a movement, make a contradicting article that goes against Visona, and backpedal by distancing yourself from something yourself started the moment people actually hold you accountable. For this reason, I am also distancing myself from the Visona label. Anna has the right to change her mind at any time, but when you create a movement, stick to it. Until she does, and actually does what the Visona label stands for, I'm distancing myself. Not just fostering an inclusive space, but hold all bigots accountable. Not cherry picking because bigot is good. It's like she could just take a step back and learn what she said. Isn't fantastic? Instead, she's just washing her hands of her own error. Like she got to realize how bad that makes her look, right? I was so confused when I saw her on stream last night praising Pippa and the article she made about her, not even a week after she created the Visona label. Like, WTF, Anna? Cherry picking a VTuber that completely goes against the purpose of Visona because she's good. Doesn't make sense and is a bad look. I would have to say that Pippa would probably represents the Visona pledge better than anybody else in this whole debacle. But that's just me. And there's Bonnie Kula. Again, I'm giving context to people that I covered before. Bonnie Kula is one of these people that I have covered before during the Hogwarts Legacy thing. Bonnie Kula was a proud supporter of the people harassing others for playing the video game, and Bonnie Kula has infamously said that the people getting harassed for playing Hogwarts Legacy need to suck it up. So that's Bonnie Kula for you. And Bonnie Kula says, reducing Pippa to just a comedian that uses shock to entertain shows clear lack of understanding and how the online right obscures themselves in 10 layers of just a joke irony. Just because Pippa is in the farthest end of the pipeline doesn't mean she isn't a real part of it. Like, I get Pippa can control her weird fuck-ass fan base, but But that take was not it, and I'm honestly disappointed that she's choosing to undermine and also praise someone who's basically good value Kirsche. So I guess Kirsche is the discounted version of whatever this person is talking about. Not only that, but this feels like an attempt at appeasing the exact people but her in danger to start with because she dared to write hard facts on and call out the fox bitch, which is only good fuel for fire. The fox bitch. Nobody in the right mind should want to appease channers. Yep, admittedly, Kirsche is so far right she might as well be a Stormfront VTuber. So it makes Pippa just look like a bogged standard 4chan Kiwi farm troll. I don't see any reason to let that Overton window shift to make 4chan KF creators acceptable. Well, you people are very good at shifting that Overton window that every fucking thing to you is extremely right wing. You shifted it so fucking left that I don't even see the window anymore. It's just fucking gone from view. That's how far the Overton window has fucking shifted. Kinda disappointed that defending Pippa from unexpected sources really downplays the part that people like Pippa play in radicalizing those types of people. She can be funny and still be an actual problem and a bad person. Someone literally wrote her name on the gun alongside Nazi symbols and other names. The connection doesn't come out of thin air. Well, a schizo would do schizo things. She has placed herself alongside those kinds of people, fostered an environment for them, makes jokes that appeal to them. She's definitely tried to distance herself from the right-wing shit over the past couple of years. Doesn't mean anything until she explicitly condemns that kind of behavior and ideological shit. The consequences of building a fanbase with a bunch of edgy incels. LMAO. Yes, even if she might dial it back, she does still make jokes that normalize bigotry and she aligns herself with alt-right creators. And yeah, her community is very much that, and she hasn't cleaned it up a bit, that aspect that I've seen at all. She's not as extreme as others, but still part of the issue. Which is why I was so surprised to see Anna of all people defending Pippa. Like she's still part of the problem. She might not have pulled the trigger, but she's complicit in normalizing and fostering hate. Irony doesn't cover it up. I'm hoping seeing her name on the rifle next to political assassins and mass shooters will be a wake-up call for her. You know, again, to break up the monotony, here's some more clips of Pippa out of context.
Well, personally, I don't like gay people.
And there you go. Let's continue. Here's Mr. Softendo again, replying to that weird furry VTuber. Well, Anna Valens supporting Pipkin Pippa and making a post on right after a news article come out about an alt-right Nazi who idolizes her Pippa getting arrested at No King's protest was not on my bingo card. I hope she doesn't think that I'm mad at her or anything like that, but I'm quite disappointed. As I mentioned in my other post, I guess that Anna has always liked her since since the very beginning, and she's just unable to come with terms that Pippa is not a good person. The very moment where Pippa played Hogwarts Legacy for the sole reason of making trans people and allies mad, Anna should have realized that she wasn't and still isn't, in my humble opinion, a good person. By the way, a little bit of context on Mr. Softendo here. Softendo is a little bit of an orbiter of all of these leftoid figures that have gone after Kirsche, for example, over the past couple of months. And Softendo was also a huge Bint orbiter, but Softendo got so fucking unhinged that he decided to sexually harass Bint, and Bint had to disavow Softendo publicly. So that's how bad Softendo is as a person. Shits on Face Connect, has an Amy profile picture for whatever reason, and sexually harasses Bint. What an individual to have on your side. And there's more. This is the part that baffles me too. Like, Anna is trans. Pippa has zero respect for trans people. So why is she supporting her? In a way, this is kind of similar to how HP fans feel about J.K. Rowling and her involvement with the series they like. Here's a dude that wrote an article about the VTuber right-wing influence, because, yeah, they just write blog posts and call it articles. A much better article regarding this topic. Are VTubers responsible for people they influence? I was supporting Anna Valens until she published an article defending Pippa. Legible has got to lib, I guess. This is that tanky again, by the way. They love to talk like they're friends with you and me, and then every time they stab us in the back. Sorry, what? The article in question. I don't understand the complete 180 she did after being harassed by Nazis. Pippa, fascist Connect are no different from Kirche. They're even friends, so, huh? I see, so Kirche spelled wrong because, of course. Fans are a reflection of Kirche spelled again, of course. Pippa is just edgy, so her fans aren't. It is 2025. I love the fucking current here mention that these people do. Can we please stop pretending edgelords never mean what they say? That was bizarre read in the context of everything that's happened. Just read over this article the entire time thinking, just who is the target audience for this? I always felt detached from this VTuber community, so I haven't followed this closely. For some reason, who was rallying to break away? This feels like such a contradictory stance from the outer. The trick with the VTuber community is nobody asks the important question. Which one? And here we have the core of my feelings against trying rename/rebrand VTubing. VTubing isn't one giant community. It's a medium. Wow, someone actually made sense on Blue Sky. Like, go figure. Yeah, I actually agree with Anne that the VTubing community can't overcome problems with it, because she's failed to specify which community. It's like the anime community. I mean, the shonen battle fans, isekai addicts, or mecha junkies? Are we talking specific shows like Konosuba? Wait, Konosuba has a bigotry problem? I guess that's new to me. They support Pippa, an alt-right VTuber who interacts frequently with racists and right-wing content creators, that's all. She doesn't even follow Pippa on Blue Sky either. Like, every time they're going to deny the connection and say, but everyone is a fan of them. But a slight silver lining is both the VTubers and their fans have to shut up and separate more. We don't see people say subscribe to PewDiePie anymore like they used to 24/7. Oh, Pippa has fostered an alt-Reich fanbase. Even if she's toned down her rhetoric for phase's sake, she still is connected to numerous alt-Reich people and clearly holds the belief still. Not surprised. Here's someone I will give you context for. I actually covered this particular individual in my Kick stream where I covered communist VTubers, including the very infamous Futakushi Mana. This guy was also included in that. He's called Cloud the Red. He looks like my imposter, but retarded. And communist, which is pretty much the same thing anyway. Cloud was one of these people that wished me dead on Twitter. So when I replied to him and said that he should come and get me if he wants me dead so much, and then he just kind of blocked me, ran away, and his Twitter account got suspended because, you know, sending death wishes to people is kind of no bueno. So he ran away, first to an alternate Twitter account and then to Blue Sky, where he resides to this day. He's also a part of a VTuber communist Discord server where they have 2 or 3 channels dedicated to free shit. They're just waiting for people to give them free shit, like, you know, a good communist will do. and then they just LARP as communists, ineffectual activists that just sit around in Discord all day and circle jerk. That's Cloud the Red for you, if you needed some context on them. So is this now safe to say I never liked Anna Valens, and she was clearly using all of you to push useless drama in order to make herself popular? And you all fell for it, even shared her cringy ass hashtag I stand with Anna Valens and bought into even more cringe Visona pledges? Yes? I mean, come on, people. I couldn't even say anything because people were in the mood of dogging and calling you a Nazi for liking her. LOL. She was a grifter and everyone ignored it because she said she hated Nazis and made a big show of being in a crusade against them. LOL. Like, what a snake. What a cowardly snake. But that's commies for you. They're afraid of their own fucking shadows. I just feel so stupid for it happening. Preach! I'm gonna use drama to get myself popular though. That is a cool strat. I can't even do what she did. Hating Nazis is my whole thing and it hasn't made me popular, LMAO. Hate them on YouTube. You gotta be a YouTuber with the hot takes. No, that takes effort. Creating content on YouTube is not something a communist is gonna do. Because a communist hates fucking working. But isn't that fucking comment indicative of their whole fucking being? I hating on Nazis is my whole thing, and it hasn't made me popular. LMAO. These people, man. In a world full of hatred, being a person with decent morals and a heart is tiring. I'm so willing to delete the blogs I made defending her. I love, people that virtue signal, because people that signal their virtues to other people, what a good person they are, how much they care about everyone, how often they are just the exact opposite of what they claim to be. Because when you're righteous, well, when you're virtuous, rather, you don't go around parading that, because you exemplify your virtues through your actions every single day. And if you're virtuous, you don't need to tell anybody about it because you're just a good person that just does good deeds for the sake of doing good deeds. And the reward of doing these good deeds, seeing your accomplishment, is reward enough. You don't need to tell everybody what a good person you are. That's a red fucking flag if you do that. Wait, what's going on? I've been taking a mental health break from the outer VTuber sphere, and I'm out of the loop. Anna Valens defended Pipkin Pippa, a VTuber notorious for right-wing grifting under guise of being a joke and being friends with Kuri currently, despite just condemning Kuri before. She has since deactivated her blue sky and fled Twitter due to criticism. And that's all I have in regards to these, but there's more of them. There's one particular one, I think I screenshotted before all of this and forgot to add it to the pile. I wanted to add it because it concerns a person that I wanted to introduce to you to show you how fucking crazy they are. I need to find what I'm looking for again. I wonder if I can actually find it again. Oh, there it is. I think I have two. Yeah, I have two of these, so let me just get them up real quick. Oh, no, I have three of those. So just give me a moment. I'll copy them over and I show you, and I'll give context because it's necessary, because this person is so fucking insane. I just need to talk about them to end this stream. You just need to see what kind of people are against Pippa in general, because they aren't good people, and you probably already noticed that. And I don't need to further explain why. Because this person who I'm talking about right now, they have a history, to say the least. They have a history dating back to the origins of the creation of my VTuber Cringe gimmick account, actually. They're so fucking off the wall insane. Okay, I think I've got everything I need here. Let me just rename those real quick, and then can talk about this. I named these files shit because this is exactly what this person is. Let me introduce to you someone called Mayhem. At least that's one of their nicknames. Let me just get that. Just 3 screenshots and then explanation. So this is Mayhem. And they had this to say about Valens. Anna, racism and neo-Nazi dog whistles are fine as long as I find them funny. Valens doubles down on Pippa article. Imagine writing an article about how VTubing as a whole has a bigotry problem and then supporting Pippa. Actually crazy. If I had a nickel every time someone supported the problematic cause they denounced, not long before I would have wealth that rivals that of the top billionaires. It's just so damn disappointing and disgusting. And tell you which platforms she decided to explain that on. In my opinion, if you're gonna double down, at least have the courage to say with your full chest to the people who feel wronged. Which is funny when this particular person talks about any sort of courage. Well, you'll guys see in a moment. And here's them on Twitter, of all places, as well. They want her dead and gone. VTuber Krisha gets dropped from gaming's poster over shill. And Mayhem comments on this. Yeah, we do actually. This particular person wants Krisha dead. Krisha, please rage tweet at me. So if you see what kind of person this already is, like just from these few tweets here, it's kind of obvious who we're dealing with. But their history is so much richer than you think it is. So I'm not going to be showing any screenshots because this will be like a whole different stream. I may do at some point if I'm capable later on, but we'll see. But let me explain real quick because this is a really fucking funny story. Those of you in my chat that have followed me for many years, do you remember Kyoto and how my account started, right? Kyoto, a lolly VTuber, got harassed by a bunch of insane people back in 2020, the beginning of 2020. And one of the people that was at the forefront of this campaign was a VTuber by the name of Martizia, also known as Android 20K. This is this particular person because they rebranded into Mayhem or someone called later Time for Mayhem to escape part of the accountability. But that's not where the insanity is. I mean, harassing, a VTuber for a lolly model is already pretty fucking retarded, but this person is so insane that they got cancelled so hard they just stopped being a VTuber. This is like another Cinder, but not popular. This person is so insane that in order to get revenge on her ex-boyfriend, she decided to dox him, but not in any normal way, mind you. She has hidden this person's dox within messages on her stream description on Twitch back in the day. And how did she dox him? Well, she decided to write descriptions on her Twitch, but capitalize specific letters in sentences that spelled out this person's name and address. That's how she decided to dox her boyfriend that has gone against her. That's what she did, but that's not where it ends. She also decided to go go and harass another VTuber that had cancer. An anti, by the way, but you know, still harassing someone for the fucking cancer is fucking ridiculous. Called Vexbilk. That's what Mayhem, Martizia, or Android 20k fucking did. That's how insane this person was. And they got cancelled so hard, their whole fucking VTubing career just fucking ended. So, rip in pepperoni to this fucking bitch. And good fucking riddance. That's the stream for today, chat. A glimpse to a little bit of insanity. I hope you enjoyed it. Blue Sky is truly a very special place. I wanted to do another Blue Sky stream before that, but again, things got in my way, and they're still in my way. So this stream is a huge exception to the things happening behind the scenes. And I wanted to cover the whole arc of Blue Sky versus Kirche, because that's also funny. That's almost as equally as funny as this whole thing that happened to Valens. So I might revisit that at some point. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But, you know, for right now, thanks for joining me on this very extensive journey into the insanity that is the social media platform called Blue Sky. It's truly a fabulous place where, you know, reason goes to die terribly in a car accident, or a train wreck rather, because train wreck is probably a better way to describe that whole fucking place. But you just can't look away. It's a good train wreck. It just goes in slow motion, and you just see all the metal bending, all the bodies getting crushed in the train carts, and it's all horrific. But you just can't fucking look away. It's just impossible. I will play you guys off with some nice song. Thanks for sticking by as long as you have. You guys have a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, whichever place you find yourself in the world. Stay off Twitter. Do not go to Blue Sky. There's nothing on Blue Sky for you there. There's nothing good. Only be on Twitter if you like good porn. Other than that, just go do something more productive with your day. So once again, thank you for coming out, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Enjoy the outro music, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye bye.